Have you ever been ghosted by someone and couldn't figure out why? With Sigma males, it's not just silence. It's a calculated disappearance. When they cut you off, it's not an accident, and it's definitely not a game. If they've gone quiet on you, chances are you crossed a line and they're done. But what makes them retreat so suddenly? In this video, we're breaking down 7 powerful reasons why Sigma males go silent. And trust me, it's not what you think. By the end, you'll understand their mindset and maybe even realize if you triggered their silence. Let's dive in. Number 1, he detected hidden agendas. Sigma males have an uncanny ability to read people, but this isn't magic. It's a combination of intuition and experience. They're incredibly observant and notice the smallest details in behavior and language. Unlike many people who might overlook ulterior motives or hidden agendas, a Sigma sees through the facade quickly. For example, consider a scenario where someone repeatedly reaches out to a Sigma under the guise of friendship but is always asking for favors or seeking personal benefits. The Sigma may notice that these requests are always one-sided, and the person only shows up when they need something. Over time, this behavior becomes a glaring signal that the friendship isn't truly mutual. It's transactional. Sigmas don't need to confront this person to know that something's off. They trust their instincts. They will let the person's actions speak for themselves, and, when they're sure their suspicions are correct, they simply back off. The Sigma doesn't make a scene, doesn't call out the manipulative behavior, they just disappear, leaving the other person to wonder what happened. Their withdrawal isn't a sign of weakness. It's a strategy to preserve their peace and protect themselves from being used. The Sigma knows they don't need people around them who have hidden motives, and their silence speaks volumes. Number 2, trust was betrayed through gossip. Trust is a foundational element in any relationship, and for Sigma males, it's sacred. When a Sigma learns that someone they trusted has been gossiping about them behind their back, it cuts deeply. Gossip doesn't just hurt. It signals a lack of respect, integrity, and loyalty. For a Sigma, this is not something easily forgiven. Imagine being in a friendship or a professional relationship where everything seems fine on the surface. But then, through the grapevine, you hear that someone you confided in has been talking negatively about you behind your back. Perhaps it was a careless remark, or maybe it was a calculated attempt to undermine you. Either way, the Sigma knows it's a betrayal of the trust they gave. The Sigma doesn't react with drama or anger. Instead, they quietly distance themselves from the situation. They don't engage in confrontation or try to salvage the relationship. To them, trust can never be fully rebuilt once it's shattered, and attempting to fix something that's broken only wastes energy. They understand that gossip is a reflection of the other person's insecurity or lack of character, and they have no interest in being a part of that. Silence becomes a shield. The Sigma's withdrawal isn't about being petty or holding grudges. It's about maintaining their inner peace. They remove themselves from situations filled with negativity and dishonesty, preferring to invest their energy in relationships built on respect and integrity. Number 3, second chances were taken for granted. Sigma males are cautious when it comes to trust, and when they forgive someone, it's a big deal. But when that forgiveness is taken for granted and the same mistakes are repeated, it becomes clear that the relationship is not a priority for the other person. Let's say a friend lies to a Sigma and later apologizes, promising to never do it again. The Sigma might give that person a second chance, hoping they've learned from their mistake. However, if the same betrayal occurs again, it hits even harder. The Sigma sees this as a failure to respect the trust they worked hard to restore. To a Sigma, trust is a precious commodity. It's earned, not given freely. When that trust is violated again, it's not just a small mistake. It's a clear sign that the other person hasn't changed. The Sigma will start to feel emotionally drained, like they're giving more than they're receiving. This repetitive cycle of forgiving and getting hurt takes its toll. Rather than dragging out the pain, the Sigma recognizes that they cannot keep investing in a relationship that continually disappoints them. They won't waste any more emotional energy trying to fix something that's beyond repair. Their silence is a response to the realization that the person has not learned from their mistakes and has failed to meet the Sigma standards of trust and respect. Number 4, boundaries were crossed repeatedly. Sigma males are often described as independent and self-sufficient, but that doesn't mean they don't value healthy, respectful relationships. They set boundaries because they need them to maintain their emotional and mental well-being. When someone repeatedly crosses those boundaries, it's not just an inconvenience. It's a direct attack on their personal space and values. Let's say a Sigma sets a clear boundary with a close friend, saying, "I need time to myself on weekends to recharge," but that friend keeps calling, texting, or showing up uninvited. Each time the boundary is disregarded, the Sigma feels like their personal space is being encroached upon. It may start with small things, a request for help, an invitation to hang out, but eventually, these repeated violations create an overwhelming sense of disrespect. For a Sigma, boundaries are not negotiable. They aren't about control, they're about self-preservation. A Sigma may let a few small violations slide, but as they accumulate, they reach a breaking point. When that point comes, the Sigma will withdraw silently. They will not engage in an argument or try to explain their feelings. They'll simply retreat, recognizing that the person has shown a lack of respect for their needs. This withdrawal is not a punishment. It's a protective measure. The Sigma values peace and self-respect above all, and they won't compromise their well-being for anyone. Number 5, they sense deception in the air. Sigma males have an extraordinary ability to detect dishonesty. They trust their instincts and are highly aware of discrepancies in people's behavior or stories. Even the smallest inconsistency can trigger a red flag for a Sigma. Imagine someone telling the Sigma one thing, but their actions tell a completely different story. Perhaps they say they're busy with work but are frequently seen out socializing. Or they offer vague answers to specific questions, avoiding details. A Sigma pays attention to these inconsistencies, and it doesn't take long for them to sense when something is off. When a Sigma senses dishonesty, they don't need to confront the person. Their trust in their instincts is so strong that they immediately withdraw. They see no value in engaging with someone who is hiding something or being deceitful. They don't need to unravel the lie or expose the truth. They simply cut off communication and move on. This isn't about being judgmental or paranoid. It's about protecting themselves from the potential fallout of being involved with someone who isn't honest. The Sigma's silence is a calculated decision to avoid drama and maintain their peace. Number 6, constant victimhood wore them down. Sigma males respect personal accountability and self-reliance. They admire people who take ownership of their actions and learn from their mistakes. When someone constantly plays the victim and refuses to take responsibility, it's a major turnoff for a Sigma. For example, a person who blames their failures on everyone else, whether it's a bad relationship, a difficult childhood, or bad luck, without ever acknowledging their role in their circumstances, quickly becomes tiring for a Sigma. This behavior often appears manipulative, as if they're trying to elicit sympathy or avoid taking action. To a Sigma, this mindset feels like a trap, both for the person playing the victim and for those around them. The Sigma may try to help, but over time, they realize that no amount of support or advice will change the other person's mentality. Instead of staying involved, the Sigma will distance themselves. They don't have the patience to deal with someone who refuses to take responsibility for their own life. Their withdrawal isn't about rejecting the person. It's about protecting their own energy and choosing to surround themselves with individuals who are capable of self-reflection and growth. Number 7, overtalking drained their energy. Sigma males are natural listeners, and they value deep, meaningful conversations. They enjoy hearing others' thoughts and perspectives, but can easily be drained by non-stop talking, especially when the conversation lacks substance or balance. Imagine having a conversation with someone who talks incessantly without giving the Sigma any space to respond or reflect. The Sigma may try to listen at first, but over time, they begin to feel overwhelmed. It's not that they're uninterested. It's that excessive talking consumes their energy, leaving them feeling mentally exhausted. For a Sigma, silence and solitude are essential to recharging. They need time to process their thoughts and emotions without constant input from others. When someone dominates the conversation without leaving room for mutual exchange, the Sigma begins to retreat. This withdrawal is not rudeness. It's self-preservation. The Sigma values quality over quantity in communication. They appreciate when conversations are focused, purposeful, and reciprocal. If the conversation becomes draining, they'll silently step away to protect their energy.